and that'll give me time to get out in front of them and get my speed up, so I don't force them to swerve at me or stick their fingers up at me. Yeah.
That's right. Two
Yeah.
fingers usually. Yeah.
And then I have to look in the direction I'm steering, am I?
That's right.
And that's in case somebody crosses the road in front of me and I don't see him. Yeah.
That's correct. Yes, absolutely. And in New Road, which mirror are you going to check?
I haven't got a clue, George.
Are you going to check your centre mirror?
All right.
All right. And we're looking for cars behind us, or any other cyclists or motorcyclists behind us, to know where they are. You know, there's a distance now behind, and what speed they're doing. Because if they were trying to overtake us, we certainly have to let them go. You know,
Oh, I see them overtaking in that
us.
mirror there then. Now we're going to turn left.
Turn left here, Tony. Well, you would see them behind us, but also you would check in your right mirror to make sure that they were actually overtaking. If they were, you'd let them go. You let them pass us, because otherwise, if you kept on your path and they were passing us.
Right, if we find a safe and convenient and legal stop place on the left here.
Okay, so find a safe, legal and convenient place to stop on the left here, Tony.
Right, you can breathe. How does that feel?
Well, that was. I mean, it was slow going. I have to say, I did better the last time.
Yeah, at what point did it get better?
When you give them clues, you see. And,
No.
When I got the routine early, when I got the centre mirror checked early, because then it fell into place.
Did you find it got easier when I gave you a clue that was similar to what I'd done last week?
Yes.
And when did I give you? When do I kind of give you that clue?
When I told you what was happening on this particular manoeuvre.
When you gave me the
first
detail.
part, yeah.
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 Think what Blaine keeps banging on about, yeah? The devil's in the detail, yeah? I can't legitimately take anything off you if you haven't given me the detail, yeah? Because I wouldn't be fair to you, yeah?
Mm.
Because you'd be thinking that, you know, when you go for your exam, he's going to take these bits off you.
Mm.
But he won't, because he hasn't heard you explain the routine, yeah? So when you've got nobody behind you there, it was a lot better. I mean, obviously, you know, it doesn't take a lot of looking just to keep an eye on that mirror and talk to me at the same time, yeah.
Mm.
And if there's nobody coming up behind us, you've got loads of time to get detail in, yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the detail I had to drag out of you. We got into the left of centre position, and you gave me the consequences of being too far over the white line to the right.
Mm.
And that's why I made a comment about you being in MI5. Because as
Yeah.
soon as I said, if I'm too... wouldn't it be easier if I just waited a bit further to the left? You then immediately came back at me, no, because then somebody coming up behind you. So you do know it,
Yes.
but, you know, you're assuming I know it, and you're not bothering to tell me, yeah? Yeah, so you talked to me through the mirrors quite well, the signal quite well, and as soon as I got all the detail I wanted on them, and I'm talking about the mirror signal and approach, yeah? I did give you a clue that was very similar to what I'd done last week. And when I say that, you want to come, if you got any sense, you'd come back at me and say, well, would you like to try that on your own the next time, yeah?
Mm.
And I'd probably be quite glad to try that on my own.
Yeah.
But if you don't suggest it, I won't.
Right.
Yeah?
I think that's a really important point. I know you've made it before quite a few times. But
Yeah.
That is the thing.
There was just a little bit too much me having to give you lifelines there. You know, you've got all this detail in your brain, and I know you've got it there, George, because I've seen you use it before.
Yeah.
And I know when I've just given you a little lifeline, a little nudge towards it, the information came flowing out. Why it doesn't come flowing out in the first place, I don't know. You know, you've got me stopped on the merge. There's nobody behind us, and yet you've done well with the walk across, drive across, getting that explanation in. You know, but there's chances to get loads of information in there, yeah? But then you got a bit lost on the routine after we turned, and I let it go for quite a while. I was never told to check the mirrors in the new road.
No.
Yeah?
No, you It's an afterthought on my part.
Yeah, obviously we had a bit of a scary moment there with that great big red area. You let me cross the white line, yeah? And I could see it was clear, but I had to cross the white line there. If I'd have stopped there, it would have been totally unrealistic because
you wouldn't have.
The level of instruction just wasn't there, was it? Well, it was non-extinct, really, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, you are actually teaching me to recognise crossroads, but you know, it's phase 1. Forget about it. I've got enough to try and take on board without you pushing me to recognise the crossroads as well. Because if I let you do that, you just got to sleep on me completely, yeah. You recognise the crossroads in phase 1, yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as you tell me you've seen the crossroads, I'll tell you where we're going, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you see a crossroads coming up and you're waffling on about, and how do we recognise this crossroads? We're going to be there before I actually tell you where we're going because you haven't told me it's crossroads, yeah?
Jeez.
But as you explain bits to me, I will be very keen on taking them off here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, did you pass on that? Yes.
Blimey, that was close then.
Sorry?
That was close. I would have thought maybe not because you only
why did you?
Quite a few lifelines.
Yeah, but why did you think that you might not have passed?
Because it took so long for me to get to the point where you could explain each step for me. In other words, that you had learned what you had to learn.
Yeah, but what did I learn in the end?
From what you said, you appear to learn everything there was to learn, basically. The routine.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I didn't learn. You know, the lifeline on the that wasn't a lifeline on the mirrors in the new road. That was me telling you that what I learned last week, and it seemed to be different from what I'm learning today. So, did you get me to do that? No. Even after that, then you waffled about. Oh yeah, a new road. You checked the interior mirror. You waffled on for about 10 minutes about the interior mirror, and you told me that. I see people overtaking in that. It's not. It's the interior mirror. It's the right-hand door mirror, isn't it? Interior mirror to see what's followed me out into the new road, and the right-hand door mirror to see if there's anybody overtaking me, and if there was, I must let them go, and the consequences to because of not letting them go is that I'll force them into an oncoming vehicle. Yeah. You did let me stop over the white line, and obviously if that happens on your test, you just got to put it behind you. You have to recover, yeah? Just make sure it doesn't happen again, yeah?
Yeah. So coming up there, my main way of getting you to slow is to cover the brake.
Well, yeah, you know that one, haven't you?
Yeah.
Your first priority has got to be anything to do with emerging, whether it be crossroads or T-junctions, is don't let me stop over that white line, yeah? Because if you don't give me the right instructions, I will stop over the white line unless I've got a 40-ton lorry coming from the right, yeah? But if I can stop over the white line and I can do it safely without endangering any pedestrians or any other road users, I will do it, yeah? But it's not that you don't know, it's just that you just didn't quite nail it on the detail, didn't quite nail it. You were trying to educate me before you had control of me there, and that's where I went wrong. You must get control of me first, yeah? Even if it means you stop me before I get to the junction, that's better than me actually getting the car over the white line and thinking, ooh, nice place to be sitting here, isn't it? So it's control and educate. You can't educate and try and control afterwards because no education is going to take place because I'm already gone past it, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah?
So to get me out of that hole, if I do...
Well, you've got yourself into that hole already, so therefore you just have to leave it and think, right, that one's history. I've really got to concentrate on the next one now, yeah?
Yeah.
And I've got to nail this, yeah? That's a big wake-up call. I've actually stopped over the white line, great big red area. But providing you sort it, that red area is going to be it's going to be history, yeah? I mean, your 6 has gone out the window, yeah?
I would think a 5 as well.
But, a 4 is a pass, and you've got to fight for that pass, yeah? But if you sit back and just think, oh my God, I've let them stop over the white line, it's the end of the world, oh, I'll just book my next one now and start filling your application in while you're sitting there, well then, you've given up, haven't you?
That
Fight.
would be.
Yeah. Don't give up. Fight, yeah? As long as you get it right at least at one junction, then the examiner knows that you know how to do it, and that nerves got the better of you and you're a bit slower getting there, yeah?
Yeah. If we do go over, I have to make sure that we, do the observation and then make sure you're looking direction, then go. I
Yeah.
can't be messing about there.
Yeah,
to
it's-
get going.
You know this thing you have about looking at the emerges, yeah?
Yeah.
If I could just get you looking in there now and again while we're stopped at these junctions, it would be great, yeah? Because we are stopped, and therefore you don't really have to be watching me that closely, but you need to know what's happening here, and that gives you an opportunity then to realise, well, there's nobody behind me. I can get quite a bit of education in there, yeah? I can probably kill about half a dozen birds at one stone, yeah? You know, I've talked him into the reference point for not encroaching. I can now go into the details of why it's important not to crouch. There's still nobody behind me. I can now go into details about the walk across, drive across, yeah?
Yeah.
I could even talk to him, you know, because we're turning right, I could even talk to him about, you know, if he's got a car come up on his right, he's only crossing the path to that car, yeah? You know, don't say if I've got a car come up from here, I'm not going to understand that.
No.
If I'm turning right and I've got a car coming from the left, we're stopped at the T-junction, there's nobody behind us, yeah? You've got all the time in the world. Tony, if you've got a car coming up from the left now, when we put it in front of that car, we're going to be going into its path. In other words, that car will be coming up behind us. So we need enough time to get from here to the other side of the road and get some speed up and get the car down the road a bit. So we need to be able to walk across the other side and walk back again, yeah? And if we've got a car coming from the right, we're only going to be crossing the path of that car, so we only need to be able to walk from here and walk the other side, yeah?
Yeah.
Walk from this side of the road to the other side. If I can do that, I can drive it. Any questions?
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah, so it wasn't a disaster by any means. No, it wasn't. It wasn't, but, you know, you do know that it's all about detail, George, yeah?
Yeah.
And the detail is what I'm going to learn from, yeah? If you don't give the detail, and certainly if you don't give the consequences, you're going to be banging your head against the brick wall, yeah? You can tell me what to do, you can tell me how to do it, and on emerging, how is probably all to do with reference points, yeah? But if you don't give me the big why, the consequences, or becauses, whatever you want to call them, yeah? I'm never ever going to learn it. And if this was your part 3 today, and I haven't had any consequences, what have I learned at the end? I'm afraid when you ask me, you know, what I learned today, well, it's going to be not a lot, Georgie.
I won't even ask.
But I'll hope maybe I learn a bit better the next time you come along, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
So, you know, there was a lot of good stuff in there. There was a lot of good stuff in there. And yes, you would have pulled off a pass at the end there for the simple reason is that you did sort everything apart from the mirrors for the new road, which is a bit of a shame. But because you did mention on one of the roads, check your interior mirror, wasn't a lot of detail in there, but I gave you a great big lifeline to sort it out at the end, yeah?
Yeah.
But yeah, you got the mirrors and you got the signal over to me quite nicely, and asked me if I wanted to have a go myself. And obviously, after you because you talked through, it was quite good on them. I did actually take it off you, and I certainly would have been very willing to take the signal off you because your explanation of that was very good. 5 or 6 car lengths. It's important not to signal too early because I think you're pulling over. And it's important not to signal too late because people are going to get confused and they won't have time to react, yeah? So obviously I would have been very willing to take that signal off you because I have used it before on the previous lesson anyway, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So it wasn't quite as bad as what it seemed to be, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard work.
It's
But-
mentally draining, it can be.
Well, yeah, if you are mentally drained at the end, then you probably know that you've given a good lesson, don't you? Yeah? But remember what I said. I mean, okay, we had a big boo-boo in the middle there. There's no good dwelling on that. move along. It's done and dusted. It's happened back down the road, yeah? Don't let it drag on for the next 15 minutes. Get out there and sort it on the next one and think, right, you crossed the giveaway line that time. But I'll tell you one thing, you won't bloody cross it on the next one, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, I've just got to keep hold of things.
Yeah.
Because that sort of incident might well say, oh, Christ. You know,
it's that control element, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Just remember, that control element gives you the opportunity to educate me, yeah?
Yeah.
But, you know, on these emerges or crossroads, keep an eye on that interior mirror and think, right, there's nobody coming behind me. We're not interfering with any other road users. We're in a live emerge situation or a live crossroad situation. Great opportunity for education to take place here, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, you could...
It's quiet.
You know, you could pick up loads of different reference points. You could talk about walk across, drive across. And the only thing I didn't like was that when you were talking about the observations on the emerge, I look across the road, any cars pulling out of drives? I want to hear pedestrians be mentioned, yeah? Yeah? Pedestrians are a great big red area. Anything to do with approaching junctions, anything to do with approaching turnings left and right, yeah? Pedestrians are going to cross from one curve to the other. At crossroads, they're going to be coming diagonal to me, yeah?
Yeah.
They've got to be mentioned, yeah? Because I can guarantee you, when you don't mention them, it's going to happen, and they're going to play around with it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? And that's why I said to you once when you said, is there anything ahead of you? And I said, no, I can't see any cats, yeah?
But you did say cats, so that was a cue.
Yeah, it's just as easy to say, can you see any pedestrians ahead of you?
Yeah, I've got to keep on top of it because sometimes I sort of get a bit mixed as to what to say, but it should be simple enough. I mean, you're looking across there to see if any pedestrians on the curb.
Yeah, I am, yeah. And, you know, I look to the right, I'm looking for cars, motorbikes, any road users, yeah? When I look ahead, it's a T-junction. I'm mainly looking for pedestrians, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. If I'm looking for pedestrians, I'm also going to see any car that's reversing out of a drive, isn't I?
Yes.
Because the car's a lot bigger than the pedestrian, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And when I look to the left, again, I'm looking for any road users, isn't I? Right.
If we stopped at the T-junction, you know, we could say a bit more. You know, you're looking for road users, you can say with any pedestrians or cyclists coming down, or motorcyclists, cars.
Yeah, as I say, it really is down to you knowing that you have got a clear road behind you, and you can hold me there, you know, and give me as much information as you can, or as much detail as you can, because the detail is what I'm going to learn from, isn't it? And it gives you the chance to get the consequences in as well. And, you know, they're the things I'm going to learn from. But obviously, I don't really want us to be sitting there when we have got a vehicle behind us, because you don't know the vehicle's there, and I have to come out of roll and actually point at your mirror, yeah? Right, so I'll give that a pause.